Well, I thought we did some good things tonight. We didn't do enough good things to win the ball game. Looking at the stat sheet, we rebounded the ball well. In times we scored the ball second half effectively. I thought the first quarter was tough to overcome, not just from a scoring output standpoint, but just from sort of a sluggish, standpoint. But Washington State's a really good ball team. They have a lot of really good guards, that hurt us all night long. And they beat us. I mean, are there some things we could have done differently? Certainly, but they came in here and they played better basketball than we did today. So areas that we need to get better, and with every single game we play this year, there's going to be a lot of opportunities to improve and tweak some things and come back, ready to get better the next day. And today is no different. So there you go.
All right, thanks. And Brad, if you have a question, just pop it in the chat. Jack, I know you got one to start us off here.
Hi, JR.
Hello.
Coming off one of your guys' better defensive performances on Friday, how disappointing was it I think you guys allowed a season-high 53%?
54, actually, yeah.
54.
Yeah, 54.1% is not really going to cut it. So with that being said, we're in the ball game, for the most part. We couldn't quite get it within grasping, distance. But, yeah, it's going to be very tough to win, when you give up that type of percentage. Like I said, there were some good things we did, but that wasn't necessarily one of them.
Anything else? Brad, you got one?
Yeah, Coach, you did mention that it was a little better in the second half. It was almost even, but it was about an 11-point range lead almost throughout. What were the main things holding you back from, truly overcoming that lead? I mean, you got it to 9, 8, 7, and kind of just ran out of time.
We just weren't getting stops. I thought we were scoring the ball more effectively in the second half, but once you're down a little bit, you got to be able to get a stop and a score. And we were not able to sort of get those stops, strung together like we needed to. So when we were getting stops, we weren't scoring. When we were scoring, we weren't getting stops. And that's how they were able to maintain their lead.
All right, back to Jack.
You guys only had, I think, 10 points off the bench. How hard is it to win when you're not able to get production from, I guess, more than your top 3 players?
Yep, that's very difficult. So, those 3 scored the ball their numbers were good, not super effectively. Percentages weren't the greatest, but yes, and if your opponent is shooting 54% from the floor and you only have 3 players in double figures and, just not a lot of productivity off the benches, this league is just too good. It's going to be tough to beat people like that.
Go ahead, Jack.
I think Frida Foreman shot. She had another rough game from 3.
Yep.
What do you think has attributed to her struggles, I guess, this weekend?
Well, I thought in the Washington game, she got really good looks, shots that I think in practice she makes with her eyes closed. She's one of the best shooters I've ever coached. But I think the Friday night sort of impacted today's performance just from a confidence standpoint, perhaps. I haven't met with her at all about it. But it's tough. Shooters want to see the ball go through the net, and it feels good to see it go through the net when it doesn't. I did think Frida did a really nice job of finding other ways to be effective. She still finished with 14 points, got to the free throw line, got herself in the paint, drew fouls, different things like that. Just wasn't necessarily falling from 3, but she's a great shooter. She'll continue to be a great shooter, and we need her to be that.
Back to Brad.
Coach, you touched on the 2 guards that seem to be penetrating all night tonight. But can you talk a little bit more about Washington State, a team that was picked to finish 12th in the Pac-12, and it seems like it's been kind of changing a lot of opinions?
They're a great ball club. Charlize Ledger-Walker is one of the better amateur players in the world. And so those that knew she was going to Washington State would not have picked them last. They would have recognized that she's one of the elite scorers in the world in her age bracket. She has a 5th-year senior sister, so obviously they've played their entire lives together. They have great synergy, great chemistry. I think Bella, their big post player, is vastly improved from last year to this year, which is probably a testament to, hard work and things like that. So they've got a very well-rounded ball club, but it's Ledger Walker, the number 5, I don't even know her name, Charlize, yeah, that makes them go, and she's very tough to stop.
Anything else from you 2? All right, Coach, thanks a lot.
All right, thanks, you guys.
Thank you, Coach.